Some people have been curious to know about how I go about to write solos and my mindset and process about it. And since this old album here with Blaze of Stone, since 2015, just came out on Spotify and other platforms, I've been rediscovering some of the solos on this one. And today we're going to check out song number 3 here, A Traitor Among Us. And how that one is structured, the theoretical basics of it and everything. So I'll just try to play it here once, just to show the full solo in its entirety. So here we go. This is my first try. Maybe I have to rewind. Okay, so that's the solo in its entirety. Now let's break down that solo into parts here and show exactly what each part is doing and why it works. So first off, when you're writing solo, you need to be aware of your chords, because I notice sometimes some guitarists are playing out of the chords, which can be sometimes an artistic choice, but sometimes it's just a result of not knowing what you're doing. So first off, know what chords you're doing. So the first chord is there, whatever that is, A sharp, A, S, ice. I'm not the greatest at the chord names, so let's just assume. Okay, so the first chord here, let's. I will write everything down here. So the first part is, if I play this now. Okay. So the first chord here is a whatever, I don't know what it's called. It's a kind of a square, and then okay, and then the next chord is a G, and then it goes back to a square again, and then it goes to this I'm trapped behind a bunch of video gear here. I will improve this video setup until another time, because I cannot have this here if I'm going to play guitar. So whatever that is, like, so there's a little riff there, goes, that is D. I would try to write this down. D, C, A, for D, C, A, and then it goes down to C, A, fourth, and then F, and then it goes to G, and it lands on the D. So that's very messy, but okay. So when you're playing the first chord there, the first chord, you see that's an A major, actually, A major, and then the D major. Mr. Musical theory here, but okay, that's an A major, and the third of that is this note here, which is a D, actually. So that's where I start in this chord. I can start. I change to the solo sound. Okay. Okay, so that's a little thing here. I will mark that as. This thing I would call, this is the first hook, or what are they called? What are they called when something is like repeated? Motif. Yeah, motif. Okay, so we have this. Okay. And that is on the A chord. And then when it goes down to the G minor, and this last note also serves as a little precursor to when the chorus comes back up to G. But what I'm doing there on the G chord is what I would call this transition lick. Okay, so we have the first motif, the transition lick, because then this motif comes back again on this one again, here on the D. So that's a first. I call this the first motif because I go back into the exact same thing again. And that is to create a more like memorable part of the solo for the listener, because it's actually repeating. And then when this part comes, I basically mimic that with the guitar, but then some octaves higher, like that. So I play here an octave higher, or two octave higher, two. I'm trying to spell 2 octave higher on this one. Okay, and that is just to combine with the chords, which is like a kind of a. But this is also a motif. This is also a motif because this will come back later. And then on the next part, when I'm back to G major again, A blah blah blah, and then G major, and then A, and then, well, that comes back again, but it ends on a D. Ends on D. It ends. Okay, so that's a little difference, and that is to create another transition chord into the next part. That makes sense. Okay, so what I have here is on the next part of the solo, on the second half, when I play this, and this one actually transitions over the 2 chords, and that is because here. That is the main. That's the third of this chord, and the 5th. In reality, this chord does not. That note doesn't really belong in that. That note doesn't really belong in that chord, but it does in the next one on the G minor. Okay, so that. So I play here a repeated. On both of these, repeated pentatonic lick. Okay, so this is a repeated pentatonic lick. Okay. And it ends up on the root note of the second chord there, like just to not tie it together. But it repeats 3 times because repetition also creates memorability. So that's one way to create memorability. And then to lead into the last part, which is on that chord, I'm playing this here, which is arpeggio on the A sharp blah 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 chord. This is really difficult to play slow. Okay, like that. Something like that. That is just a fast. This I could call like the shred. Lead into the finale, because so far everything has been pretty melodic, but I needed to have something that is more like drrrr, and that one leads into the motif from the end of the last one. So this is motif. This is the same. Motif 2 again, but plus 1 octave. Okay, so then I have and then it ends on the lower fifth of the next chord. So if I play this one a little bit part by part. Okay, so first note. Okay, and then after that I will be playing the same thing again. Okay, and then I will have this part that is the repeated pentatonic lick. Okay, and then I will have this. I will fail on this one, but it's just for. So there's an entire composition here with purpose, and it's not just a random solo. As you can see, there's a very particular like structure to this, and this is how you can. It's like when you're writing a song, you usually have like a verse, a chorus, a verse, a chorus, a solo part. So you have these different parts, but sometimes you can also do that on a solo. So this is like a verses, and this is like the choruses. I often do this when I write my solos to have some motifs and stuff like that, and repetition. Like some people might be afraid that my solo is too repetitive or whatever, but I will go through more solos or riffs or full songs later if anybody's interested. Thanks for watching.